Embracing the suck. Maybe it's not a phrase that you've heard before, but you definitely do it. You've been doing it since the day you were born, and you'll continue to do it until the day you die. You do it every day, and you possibly do it every waking moment of your existence. Now, whether or not you actually see this as a philosophical point is your choice. However, I'm going to bring it to light, and hopefully you can use it more to your advantage in your everyday life. I learned about embracing the suck from a philosophical standpoint through a friend named Stephen Perrin. Perrin was a U.S. Army sergeant. I got to know him very, very well when I lived in England for 3 years. And I learned a lot through him, through his smart-assiness, because he was a smart-ass by definition. And you'll always learn from them if you can cut through the humor, because the humor is always of irony of life. And like I said, if you can cut through that irony, you learn great life lessons in a good way, and probably in a memorable way as well. And so it's something that I'm going to attempt to impart to you. Embracing the suck, short and sweet, is taking pain and taking its power away to use for your own empowerment. Now, the way that you can think about this is that there's constantly things in life that will cause pain, either physically, emotionally, psychologically, or moral. Definitely physical pain is one of those that you can definitely take an easy look at. For instance, we used Embrace the Suck in a way to show our disdain for running. Now, I'm a bigger guy. I always have been, and I always will be a bigger guy. No matter how much weight I lose, no matter how much I work out, I will still be a tank of a human. Nothing will ever change that. So, me being the big guy that I am, I naturally hate running, because I have more weight to lumber around, so therefore, my leg muscles tire easily. Perrin, on the other hand, was a skinny motherfucker, and I hated him for that. However, he hated it as well. And I'm glad that he hated it, because then it brought the life of Embrace the Suck out. So all of us that share that common disdain for running embraced the idea of embracing the suck, and we used it to empower ourselves. Needless to say, we accomplished our goals of becoming faster, and you have to do that in the Army because you have to pass a test biannually to even stay in, and running is a part of that. So if you don't pass that test, you don't stay in. Now, of course, me being a young guy, I needed to stay in because that was my job. So, definitely embracing the suck helped in that, because it took my mind away from the pain that was riddling my body with every foot clamp onto the track. And needless to say, after miles and miles and miles of running and practice, you finally accomplish your goals. And when you accomplish your goals, after you've taken the pain away and empowered yourself, those goals become much sweeter. You ever noticed that when you're in a low spot and something great happens to you, you feel an empowering joy? It's because you've been embracing that suck the entire time. And when you finally hit that one moment of joy in your life, whether it be like an emotional joy of going through a hard time and then you finally catch that one break that just puts you in a good mood for even a couple of minutes, it feels great. And it doesn't matter what your goal is. If your goal is losing weight and you finally find out that you lose that, it feels great. And you keep on wanting to do it because that constant want to achieve becomes greater and greater. Whether it comes from physical or mental or emotional improvement, or just advancing yourself. I myself, when I was still in the Army, my main goal was to advance my career. And I did that multiple times by advancing my job, by advancing my rank. In fact, one of the happiest days of my entire life was becoming a sergeant. And I'll never forget that day because it was one of the happiest days of my entire life. And the moment they took that specialist rank off my chest, while we still had ACUs, and they put that sergeant rank on, and got punched in the chest by the sergeant major, it's a moment I won't live down. It's a moment I'll never forget. It's because I embraced the suck of being a lower enlisted for those 3.5 years. And I finally achieved the goal that I had wanted to the entire time. Embracing the suck, or seeing the glass half full, or seeing the grass on your side of the road is greener, all these things are the same thing. It's all taking positivity and embracing it and making the situation at its best, or making the best of the situation that you're in. Even the slightest change of mindset, such as using positivity to your advantage, can be life-changing and be life-saving. You never know when you're going to be in a dire situation in which you don't know what's going to be next, when your next meal is going to be, whether you're going to have the home the next day, whether you're even going to wake up the next morning. Sometimes embracing the positive side of life is the difference between living and dying. Think about that, even for a little bit. Sure, embracing the suck might sound funny, and you might joke about it, because I joke about it all the damn time. But the truth of the matter is, it's definitely saved my life a few times. This is B85, over and out.